We are going to hold people accountable that push lies. And the president believes deeply that American news outlets should be reporting the truth.
Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this.
They're disgusting. She's Anna Navarro in your wildest imagination. You could never solo host a show. You will only ever make it as part of an ensemble, and you could never hope to achieve the success. So you can sit in your little cheap seats all day long and enjoy your little negative henpecking, but your careers are going nowhere.
Ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
Some stories start quietly. This one didn't. This one started with a sound. The sound of an entire television empire cracking down the middle on live television. Because here's the thing nobody in daytime TV wants you to know. There are cameras. There are lawyers. And then there is the moment when both of them arrive in the same room at the same time. That's what happened here. That's what nobody was ready for. Karoline Leavitt walked into a courtroom the way most people walk into a coffee shop. Calm, quiet, unbothered. She walked out with a verdict heavy enough to shake the foundation of ABC. And Megyn Kelly? Oh, Megyn didn't just show up to comment. Megyn showed up with matches, gasoline, and a smile that said, "I've been saving this for years. Buckle in."
ABC, having just paid $15 million for a defamation lawsuit, would think not to engage in conspiracy theories about assassination attempts, but I guess that's too much to ask from The View. I mean, I gotta ask you, because they said it, are you aware of any plots from Elon Musk to push President Trump down the stairs?
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that.
Because what unfolded next isn't gossip. It's the slow-motion collapse of the most powerful table in daytime television. For decades, that famous round table wasn't a talk show. It was a throne room. 5 women, 1 microphone each, 0 consequences. They said what they wanted. They mocked who they wanted. They rewrote reality between commercial breaks. And America just kept watching. But somewhere along the way, a very dangerous idea slipped into the studio air. The idea that opinion and evidence were the same thing. That confidence could replace fact.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason.
Fact-checking. That a punchline delivered loud enough would never need a source. And that right there is how empires fall. Because reality has a receipt system. And this week the invoice finally arrived. Let's talk about that number. Not a slap, not a nudge, not one of those cute little learning experience settlements networks bury in a footnote. $800 million. Say that number out loud in an executive meeting and watch grown adults forget how to breathe. That's not a fine. That's a demolition permit. That's the kind of number that turns marble hallways into ghost towns.
Melania Trump came out and said she's about as pro-choice as they come. And here was the reaction on The View.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
Would you look? This is a network that still runs out fact checks to these women, like it's concerned about them staying factual.
That's the kind of number that rewrites org charts overnight. That's the kind of number that has PR teams updating their LinkedIn profiles before lunch. And here's the part nobody at ABC wants to admit. This wasn't bad luck. This was inevitable math finally catching up. Here's where the story turns. Because everybody expected drama. Everybody expected shouting. Everybody expected a headline war. What they didn't expect was silence. Karoline Leavitt didn't tweet. She didn't rant. She didn't fire back on cable news. She did something far scarier. She went to work. While the hosts were still trading zingers, Karoline...
She promotes Joe Biden and Kamala Harris every day on that show. Trump wasn't supportive enough of the cops who were, yes, in danger on J 6th. How does that explain their behavior on a daily basis toward Harris, toward Biden, toward AOC, toward all of the left, including their own show, Sunny Hostin? The hypocrisy is rank.
We did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men actually voting more for him, and you have and black men was not the story. We're not the story here because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
Was already sitting with attorneys. While the show was booking its next hot take segment, Karoline was building a timeline. While ABC's producers were laughing at their own cleverness, Karoline was quietly assembling a case file thick enough to stop a door. She didn't play their game. She built a new one. And when she walked into that courtroom, she wasn't looking for an apology. She was looking for a verdict. The kind that echoes. Now, here's where things got surgical because discovery is where careers go to die. Every internal email opened, every production note cataloged, every whispered pre-show joke transcribed, we'll just say it and edit it later laid out on a...
Everyone's happy about it, and many people would like us to be more focused on the insurrection that he personally unleashed, if you ask them. As we discussed earlier, they think it's as bad as, like, the Holocaust, and you don't have to take my word for it. Here is Sunny Hostin of
January
The View
6th was an
today.
atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, you know, like World War II, things that happened, you know, like the
table under fluorescent light. And that's when the courtroom stopped feeling like a fair fight and started feeling like an autopsy. As it turned out, the segments weren't accidents. They weren't misunderstandings. They weren't heat of the moment slip-ups. They were planned, rehearsed, written for reaction, not for truth. And once that hit the record, the case was already over. The verdict was just paperwork. Wait for it, because what came next wasn't a legal loss. It was a public unmasking. And then she arrived, not screaming, not celebrating, not gloating. Megyn Kelly walked into this story the way a doctor walks into an emergency room. Calm, focused, and already 3 steps ahead of everyone else in the building.
And then you get this little lecture from, forgive me, those is over at The View.
I'm a Christian girl. When something like this happens to you, like this assassination attempt, and you say something like God was watching me, that is a very unchristian thing to say because it's very narcissistic. What? Well, God was watching me and not watching them. There's something very disturbing.
I should have pulled the plug on that mic yesterday. That's obnoxious. I don't know what church she goes to. That is how people of faith talk, and the intimation is never, he was looking out for me, but not those monsters.
She didn't need volume. She didn't need theatrics. She had something far more dangerous. A memory. Because Megyn has been watching this exact pattern for years. She's seen the setups. She's seen the ambushes. She's seen the gotcha edits. And she kept every single receipt. So when the verdict dropped, she didn't celebrate. She didn't dance. She simply looked into the camera the way a teacher looks at a student who finally learned the lesson the hard way. And that look, that single quiet, knowing expression, ended more careers than any monologue ever could. Now let's talk about the ladies behind the table because their reactions? Chef's kiss for internet culture. Joy Behar looked like her spreadsheet just crashed mid-tax season. Whoopi Goldberg was radiating that specific energy of someone who just realized the Wi-Fi password is about to change forever. Sunny hosts stared at her notes like they had...
Whoopi Goldberg was angry when Alyssa pointed out that Trump went to the funeral of Officer Diller.
Yes.
On Long Island, and Joe Biden went to a podcast. Look at Whoopi Goldberg's reaction.
Choose what you like there, but for Republicans, it was good imagery.
Really?
1 day later, yes.
And I'm asking that because I was so offended because you know who showed up.
Personally betrayed her. And Sarah Haynes? Sarah looked like she was mentally rehearsing her exit interview. The chemistry that once made the show feel unstoppable? Gone. Evaporated. replaced by a group of professionals suddenly painfully aware that every word they say from this point forward will be reviewed by a legal team before it hits the air. That's not television anymore. That's a hostage situation with better lighting. And the internet noticed immediately. Lips got dissected frame by frame. Facial expressions became memes within hours. Every awkward pause turned into a GIF. Every glance into a caption. The View didn't lose a lawsuit. They lost their aura. But here's the twist nobody's talking about loudly enough. This didn't just hit the View.
That hot mess that they air in the mornings, called The View, had to issue not one, not two, not three, but 4 corrections, legal corrections. 4 legal notes. We only have 3 of them on camera, but look at this.
I have another legal note. Both Trump and Pam Bondi have denied allegations of a quid pro quo. I have a legal note.
Not to mention what they did at that debate.